Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
What is going on, Canes fans? I am Matty Ice. He is Caniacs. This is a Canes Calling pod. Caniacs, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. How about you?
I'm doing a lot better. You know, it was a rough weekend.
Yeah, we've had a few days in between.
Yeah, so I mean, I told you about this. So on Saturday morning, woke up. I had tested for COVID on Wednesday, and I got my results on Saturday, and I tested positive. I feel fine, no symptoms, no real symptoms, just like little cold symptoms.
Right.
But not to mention too, Canes basketball lost.
Oh man, to who? Who did they lose to?
They lost to
Florida
Gulf Coast.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was not a good way to start my Saturday.
It wasn't. And I mean, I think a lot of it was to do with like injuries and stuff. And I mean, going forward, I'm worried because we have a lot of injuries on this team now.
Right, but just one thing I want to say about that is they couldn't hit a three.
Yeah, it was like 6% from three again.
Well, they only had one 3-pointer until like 2 minutes left in the game when Wong finally hit his second one of the day. And that was like 2 for like, what is it, 22 or some crap like that? It was a lot.
He was the only one that hit him.
Yep.
But we'll get into that later. And let's just kind of address the elephant in the room.
Ugh.
Miami got absolutely trounced by North Carolina. It wasn't even competitive at all.
No.
It was like I was watching a Pee Wee football game.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was
absolutely disgusting. I mean,
so we'll get into all that and all the repercussions of that because it was really brutal. I mean, I turned it off early. I don't know about you.
I didn't really turn it off. I had it in the background. I just, was playing with my son and I did some other little things and, but it is what it is.
No, yeah. We'll get into that. And then we're going to talk a little recruiting, man. We got Caned Up coming on tonight.
Caned Up from Miami Flow Channel.
Yeah, Miami Flow Channel. He's going to talk some recruiting with us, which I'm excited about. Early signing period is tomorrow. So we'll kind of get into that. Hopefully there's no repercussions of this catastrophic loss.
Yeah, especially since our number one guy we're looking to get in this class was actually
at the game
and
Jake Garcia.
Yeah, man.
Whew.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I've been hearing some other things. I listened to Andrew Ivins and David Lake's podcast and a couple other guys, and they had some interesting points that he came on his own dime and he brought his mother this time and his last time with his dad. And yeah, so hopefully, with all that, it's still a good sign. So I guess we'll find out. He posted something. I think it's tomorrow at 5 p.m. or something like that, or 6 p.m. He's going to make his announcement.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And he already has come to a decision, too. He tweeted that out, that he already knows what he's going to do. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a good sign or not. I mean, I think it is because, a lot of crystal balls in favor of Miami, but we'll see, right?
Yeah, that was before the ass whooping we took on Saturday, though.
Yeah, that's true. So, Caniacs, you want to check in with 305?
Let's do it.
So, as we mentioned in the intro, Canes Hoops lost to Florida Gulf Coast 66-62. And, I'm really hesitant to really, critique this game, just because we already had injuries before. Chris Likes was out for this one.
Same ankle injury.
Yeah, same ankle injury. And Rodney Miller got injured in the game. It was like a few minutes in. And then Cam McGusty got injured. So they were only playing 6 deep. When you're only playing 6 people, that's a lot. It doesn't matter who you're playing.
No, you're right. I mean, that's a lot that's a lot of physical. I mean, and boys was tired.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we won't get into this too much, But I think that the main thing was they only had one scoring option because Likes was out, Cam
Yeah.
McGusty, that's two of their top three scorers. Only Wong was in, and Wong played well. It's hard when you're the only option on offense. It's even harder to get your looks because you're gonna get doubled. The defense is gonna hone in on you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it was disappointing, but I think they can recover. And there's some big news. This is what I mainly want to talk about with Canes Hoops.
I know you text me. You were excited about this.
I know. I was so excited. I was actually playing Xbox with Toast when I found out the
Nice.
news that Elijah Aloni is going to be eligible to play. And the reason why you're asking, like, Canes fans are asking, like, what does this mean? Can he really have that much of an impact? Yes, he can have a major impact. He's a transfer from Stony Brook. He's kind of a combo guard, but the thing about him is he does it on both sides of the floor.
Oh, yeah?
He's going to come in immediately and be one of the leading scorers on the team.
Really?
Yeah. He averaged 18 points a game, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and then 1.6 steals. So, I mean, he's a good rebounder, too, for being a guard. But, man, like, watching him offensively, he kind of reminds me of like a Durant Scott. Like,
Mm-hmm.
He can get hot really quick and, he's able to shoot off the drive. He's able to create his own shot. When he gets into the paint, he can adjust his body really well to contact and finishes really well and gets a lot of like and ones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just his offensive ability. Defensively, like, he is going to come in and immediately, if not be the best player, be one of the best players on defense.
That fast, huh?
Yeah, that fast. Just
Wow.
because he's just so smart. He plays passing lanes so well. He's a really good athlete. He can guard like kind of like, I would say like the 1 through 3 positions. And I think he's going to make an immediate impact. And honestly, like, after all is said and done, and like, let's just say, I mean, hypothetically, the Canes are really injured right now,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to be available tomorrow when they play Pitt. But if they can recover and get everyone back, for ACC play, like after Pitt, because there's going to be 6 guys out for Pitt. They're only going to have 6
man.
people with Alani. Yeah.
Well, he definitely needs to be in there.
Yeah. But if they can all come back and just rally together, I mean, like, honestly, this is a top 25 team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just with adding
just with adding him, just because of what
Wow.
he brings, and he brings something that we've been missing. Like, he's gonna start right off the bat, and McGusty's gonna come off the bench. I think that's kind of like once everyone's healthy, because obviously, Likes is out. McGusty's, I think he's probably gonna be out next game too. I think Matt Cross is even out next game. So there's going to be a lot of moving pieces.
So let me ask you this: how
yeah.
good is Pitt?
Yeah, so I mean, Pitt is a team. They're 4-1. They have a bad loss though. They lost to St. Francis, who's, I mean, not really a major Power 5 team. And then they just have
Florida
some
Gulf Coast is.
Well, I mean, Florida Gulf Coast is more of a respected program. If you remember a few years ago, they made that major run in the tournament. That coach since left though, but I mean, they're still a pretty decent team. But yeah, I mean, they played against Drexel in like northern Iowa or northern Illinois and got some wins. But they really haven't been challenged so far. So it's like, this is going to be their first real challenge. So I mean, hopefully the Canes can get the win. But
So if they can't get this 3 going with whoever's with everybody that's going to be out, they're going to have to change
Olani
that up.
is going to be able to shoot the 3.
Oh, okay.
He shot, I believe he shot like 37%, which is pretty good for college. And that's the thing, like, he's not just like a catch and shoot. He's going to have some like step back threes. He's going to like shoot them off the dribble, But yeah, so they play Pitt tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. They're going to be shorthanded, but I mean, with Olani coming in, I mean, I think they can still win. But yeah.
Also, because they got to stretch that floor out.
Yeah. All right, so Kaniacs, the reason why I wanted to talk about basketball was because, there was a silver lining, Elijah Alani was coming in, and I'm excited about that. But now we got to kind of get to the football side. And I got to be honest with you, I don't really want to talk about this that much because I don't really think there's that much to talk about. Simply put, we've got our asses kicked.
Yep.
By the same running play the entire game. And, people say...
Same shit, man.
Sam Howell didn't have that good of a game, but he didn't have to throw the ball.
I was going to say, did he even throw the ball?
He did. He threw for, 200 yards, but, that's the thing.
Right.
He could have gotten it wherever he wanted. They rushed for over 500 yards. They had one running back for 308 yards and one for over 200.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
It was a record-setting day.
Yeah.
But not for the Canes.
And I just got to say, this loss, obviously last year we lost to FIU, and that hurt in a different way just because, come on, we should never lose to FIU. Right. But this, man, it just, we just got dismantled.
Yes. And
for me, it's just man, I don't really, the Clemson game was not close at all, and this game was not close at all. The rest of our games, we're not really talking about those, but, those are lower tier ACC teams. Obviously Louisville was ranked at the time, but man, it just, I don't know. It doesn't look good. Manny's coming up with all these excuses with COVID and stuff saying, oh, we just need a break. But then he also said we were the most locked in ever to, the kids knew that, what we were playing for and stuff. So it's well, what's
right.
what's coach speak and what's not,
Right. It's hard to tell because he was saying, because he was being asked on his press conference on Monday, about what happened on the defense, blah, 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 this and that. And he was like, well, I don't remember exactly who asked the question, so forgive me. But basically he was like, well, it's hard this year because, there's some players have had to be in the room by himself for 14 days. Some players have had to be in the room by themselves for 14 days multiple times. Mm-hmm. Coaches had to be, like he was, you got to, be quarantined for 14 days. Some coaches aren't there to coach, so you got other coaches trying to do it. It's just, I can kind of see it, but I just can't see that just being the reason. And then after watching Rose, student of the game, it's just like we've said previous on this podcast. The linebackers
speaking of
just
Rowe
suck,
too, man.
Bro.
Speaking of Rowe too, you can kind of see, the listeners can't see. I got my I know you can hear me t-shirt on, because you know what? I know you can hear me right now, Manny. Because, man, that was some bullshit, man. I got to tell you, too, man. People aren't even talking about, people are just, giving, Blake Baker shit. But it's you got to think about it, too. We ain't got linebackers. Our linebackers are horrible. And, I think that Manny's... Yeah, I think Manny's to blame for that. At least partly.
Well, hopefully, you can see that they're trying to address that. With Brooks and, oh, my God.
Even that, they didn't have good games.
Well, no, but damn, they're freshmen, dude. They're freshmen.
Oh, Corey Flagg, yeah.
Corey Flagg, sorry.
But
they
come
didn't
on.
have great games.
Zach McLeod's a fifth-year senior. Jeez, right. And he might even come back for his sixth year because, NFL's not going to want him. No, I don't even think Miami should, but whatever.
No, I don't think so either. But, it's that defense is made for having good linebackers. There's no two ways about it. From what I saw on the film breakdown, you got to have good linebackers, and we just didn't do it. We just didn't have it with Jennings and McLeod.
And can I just say something too? Every Canes fan that talked about Shaq and Pick being too slow, and just saying oh, Sam Brooks needs to play more, because Pick and Shaq are way too slow. They need to personally apologize to both of them on Twitter, and just say, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, man.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
It is, and you can look at the defense statistically, every category we've gotten worse in, and whether how much of that is attributed to coaching and how much of it is a drop off in roster talent.
All right. Speaking of coaching.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat some crow. Now I know that on the last show I said that Blake Becker didn't show me anything for any reason to get fired until fucking Saturday.
He showed you 62 reasons. Right?
He was like, "Oh, Kaniacs, you don't think so?" He's like, "Holding my beer." You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he puts that shit out there. Oh man,
Well, and two, I want to kind of go over something too.
I'm
Manny
eating
had
it.
said, Manny had said, like, in the post game, I think it was in the post game interview, there's some sort of quote saying that we made adjustments, that were like designed to take away what they were running and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't execute those things or whatever. So, in your opinion, is that a coach thing or is that a player thing? Because like he also said, oh, when you look at the film, we played fast and with a lot of energy. Well, then it's like, okay, well, were they doing the wrong thing? Were they missing assignments? Like, you know what I mean? Is that on you then? You know?
Well, he said it was on him. He
Yeah.
said it was on him. Well, he didn't say it from what I can remember the post game interview, but on Monday he was saying that it was on him. He's got to do a better job, but that all that regular coach speak stuff. But then I don't know. But after listening to it this week, I don't know if he's going to fire Blake. I really don't. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because he keeps bringing up COVID excuse. You know,
Yeah.
I can't say excuse, COVID reason, which
Yeah.
it is a reason because it actually happened. But I mean, is it a cause for what happened on the field? I mean, other teams have been doing it. But then again, look at what Wake did.
Yeah.
They shit the bed too. So I mean,
So let me just kind of like end this with one thing. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore, and I'm sure you
me
don't want
neither.
to either.
I'm done with it.
I'd rather just get into
Bringing my
recruiting.
buzz down.
Yeah. The last thing I just want to like talk about, I want to do a little pop quiz for you. I don't
Okay.
know if you have the stats from the defense the past few years in front of you, but if you do, don't look at them unless you
Okay.
already have. How many yards do you think we've given up in terms of rushing this year compared to last year? Like, do you
In a
think how
total?
many? Yeah, like how many do you think it's like gone up or gone down per game?
Rush yards has gone up.
Yeah, how many do you think
I would say probably an average per game or just total.
per game?
Probably 20 to 30 yards a game.
Okay, we gave up 115 rush yards last year. You
Right?
want to take a guess at what it is this year per game?
Oh, no. Got it. What is it?
It's 180.
Yeah, so about right.
So,
70.
yeah, it's double what you said actually.
Well, you're right. You're right. But
Yeah,
it's horrific, man. I mean, and
yeah,
and you can see that North Carolina just followed what Clemson did.
yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. I mean, we're giving up more passing yards this year, and I will say, like, God, Toast is gonna love that I'm saying this. I do think that our offense has given more opportunities to the other team's offense in terms of like, so that can kind of impact the stats, of like yards per game.
I see what you're saying.
But I mean, at the same time, other teams are scoring more points against us too. I think it's like a touchdown more per game or something like that. That's just off the top of my head. So if I'm wrong, blast me on Twitter. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It makes me sad and it makes me want to go drink some tequila.
Yeah, I guess we'll
So,
find out after the bowl game. The
Ex-
Cheez It Cracker Bowl or whatever
hey,
the hell it's going to be.
yeah, the Cheez It Bowl. At least it's not the Cheese Nips Bowl. Gotta say that.
Yeah, they suck.
Hey, I'm I'm a big Cheez It guy, so maybe we can. I mean, the only shining light is if we can get some merch, some like Miami Cheez It merch. That would be
There
pretty.
you go.
You know.
That's it. There
Yeah.
you go.
Anyways, though.
All right, you know what? Let's be done with that. How about we get into our 2 minutes of heat?
Oh, I'm ready for that. What is going on, guys? So, Caniacs, we are here with our 2 minutes of heat, and the Heat had their first preseason game. It felt like a while because the Lakers had already played too. As everyone knows, I'm a Laker fan. They kind of started a little later, but they played their first preseason game. The Heat lost 114-92. There's a lot of notable people out though. Jimmy was out, Goran Dragic was out, Iguodala, Olynyk, and Bam was kind of limited. He didn't play too much. But
Plus, it's preseason.
well, not to mention too, the entire Pelicans team played almost
Right.
normal minutes. Not really indicative of anything. And
Right.
said, And man, it was really weird seeing Steven Adams in a Pelicans jersey after playing for the Thunder for so long. It just looked really weird. Uh,
It'll take some adjustment, that's for sure.
yeah, it's always weird when you see, because I feel like trades in the NBA like are way more like frequent and stuff. So it's just like it's weird seeing these guys in different jerseys and stuff. Um, but with that being said, let's talk about some of the good things that I saw from the game. I mean, there's not much to take away from this. Harkless is a really good defender, man. I'm really interested to see what he can do. I think he's like 6'8", and he has a really long wingspan, like a 7'2" wingspan. So, I mean, he's really versatile defender. And, I mean, if he can knock down the three consistently, I mean, I think he's going to be on the floor, and be a part of the rotation. Tyler Hero played pretty well. He just looks like he's gaining more confidence. I know it's preseason.
Right.
And it was the initiation of Precious Achua, man. He had his first game. I have to say I'm really disappointed. I usually go to NBA Summer League every year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a really cool thing. It's in Vegas, and they have a bunch of games and stuff. And I was really looking forward to being able to see him play in person. But I had to say, he showed like a lot of promise of in terms of just his athleticism and everything. But you kind of see some things of with the shortened off season and the fact that he's a rookie, some negative things, just with defensive rotations. He kind of missed a few, and he kind of switched when he wasn't supposed to, or he didn't switch off the pick and roll. Zion bullied him on 2 plays in a row. But I mean, Zion does that to everyone. But yeah, man, I mean, I think he's going to be a key guy moving forward. I think that he has a chance to really, be in a part of the rotation, Like I said before, I don't think he's going to be, rookie of the year, but I mean, I think he can be a key guy, and then just moving forward, he's a lot of potential.
Well, we'll find out on their next game on Friday when they play the Raptors.
Yeah, so they, like you said, they play the Raptors December 18th, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, looking forward to watching that and seeing hopefully Achua can get some more playing time.
Let's see, because I'm excited about this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and I guess the Heat doesn't have to worry about Yanni anymore.
Oh, that is true. I forgot I was going to mention that too. So he just signed a contract extension. I think it's a 5-year contract extension. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember exactly, but 5 or 7.
Yeah, and he actually has a trade kicker in there. So if he's traded, he gets So I mean, he's not going to get. I don't see him unless he's demanding a trade. But then we have to give up a lot. So I mean, you like how I said we, because I'm a Laker fan, but now I'm embracing this Heat culture.
Well, you need to.
Yeah, I know. I need to.
You need to grab on and hang on.
But that's pretty much it on the Heat front. I'm excited for the season to start. Do you want to get into some recruiting with Kane Dub, man?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a break, and on that backside, we'll come back and we'll call up Miami Flow.
Do it. Oh, how's it going, man?
Going another beautiful day in paradise.
Hey, that's what I like to hear, man. You having a good night so far?
So far, so good, man. So far, so good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Just chilling here and ready to talk some Canes, man.
Heck yeah,
bro. What a great day today, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff happened today.
I know. That's what I'm excited for.
Well, that's why we brought you in here. We need some local expertise to come in here and give us some of his best opinions on what's going to happen tomorrow.
I'll gladly give you my opinions.
Love it. We kind of were just talking about the UNC game.
Right.
And do you see, the repercussions of the UNC game? Do you see that affecting anyone's commitment? Out of these lists of guys that are committed right now?
Well, you know what's crazy about that is almost the entire class that's signing early was committed before we even started going on a good run. So that was a big take. If we were having to close on a bunch of guys, I think we would have been in some trouble, to be honest with you guys. I think we would have been in some trouble. But the guys that we have, especially because the two big fish, James Williams and Leonard Taylor, are big advocates. They're on social media recruiting. They're always throwing up the U. If it was the big fish that was wavering just a little bit, I think it could have got shaky, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously early signing period is tomorrow. It seems like a majority of the class, if not all the class, is signing tomorrow. Is there anyone though that is still like it's gonna wait or?
Well, I think if I have my numbers right, I think we're gonna have a good 14 or 15 sign tomorrow.
Okay.
That's what I think is gonna end up happening. Now, there is, and I'm sure you guys have seen, it's been reported also in the bigger publications, but we kind of heard about it down here in Miami, in the little chatter before it got publicized. But Florida is making a really big push for Brashard Smith. But it doesn't seem like he's shaking at all, at least at this point.
Okay.
Unless something dramatic happens when he wakes up tomorrow, like he hits his head or something, and
Right.
But apparently they tried to come after him pretty hard in the last 48 hours, and they were trying to get some false, reports out there that he might be actually considering Florida.
Oh wow!
But last I heard, and it was reported also by a couple of good outlets that I trust, that he's pretty much sticking firm for right now.
Oh wow! Good. Well, and speaking of Brashard Smith too, I had seen, I think it was according to like Andrew Ivins, that he might not be on track to enroll early if he does commit to Miami. Can you just talk about like how big it would be if he can enroll early and get to campus, a lot sooner?
Yeah, I heard the same stuff, but no one's has said definitively if he can or he can't. But the thing about him that's so unique is that he fits perfect into this offense. I mean, he's like a plug and play guy because of his skill set. Plus, what is a position that no one's really been talking about too much this year that we're hurting at, and that is punt returner. And tell me a guy like him is not tailor-made to be a punt returner year one. Like year one, he'll be back there. So I think if he gets in by the spring, you're going to see this guy on the field a lot next year, to be honest. His skill set is crazy. I had said in a prior podcast that he's the guy when you go watch the games that everyone's, you're in Dade County, you're in South Florida, you're seeing all these great athletes, and they're all running real fast. And then there's this one guy that just looks faster than everybody else. He just sticks out. And that's this guy, man.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So you kind of talked about punt returner being a position of issue for the Canes last year, or for this year. But I think another position that we kind of struggled with this year was linebacker. We have two commits this year, Deshaun Troutman and Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson, I believe he's related to Jaquan too, right?
I think they're cousins.
They're cousins? Okay.
But I don't have that confirmed.
Okay. What do you like from those guys, and what do you think that they can bring, that we don't have on the current roster now?
I've actually gotten a chance to see both players play live. I'll start with Tyler Johnson. I think that he is definitely a scheme fit, but I think he's going to take about a year or 2 years before we really see him on the field, to be honest. Now, the other guy, Troutman, I really think he has a chance to get playing or at least getting some snaps next year, depending on what Miami does in the portal, because I have a funny feeling Miami's going to address linebacker in the portal as well.
I hope so.
We'll see how that goes. There's a little fish out at USC that everyone's talking about that might, there might be some interest there depending on what NCAA does in giving more spots, which everyone thinks they will. But they have not as of yet. But I think Troutman definitely has a chance to play early next year. I'm not sure about starting because I really do like the freshmen or the underclassmen that we have that got snaps this year. I just think they'll be hard to get off the field next year as long as they stay healthy.
Absolutely. So as the class looks right now, we have 20 commits right now. I think we have 4 spots left, right? Do you see them trying to fill the class completely, or do you think that they're going to kind of like try to save space just in case we do try to get like a transfer quarterback or, as you said, like a transfer linebacker?
I would be everything I hear, I'd be shocked if they would fill it.
Okay.
I think that you may see 3 by Friday. More probable 2, but you may see 3. And then I think they're really gonna wait to see, because, as I said, there's a big hope and a big, buzz that they're gonna get more spots because of the way this whole thing is playing out, as far as like seniors are allowed to come back and the COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, everyone in the world would be shocked that's involved in recruiting or scholarships if NCAA would not grant more spots. But I think, to be honest with you, you're not going to see much craziness in the next couple of days. I would be surprised. At least I haven't heard any.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It kind of looks like probably Jaden McBurrows and Jake Garcia are the 2 guys like most likely to commit. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with Jake, and I think McBurrows wouldn't surprise me because we've been putting the full court press on him, and he is definitely wavering. But I'll throw this out there. I know that Austin Barber said that it was a big deal when Miami offered him, and he may want to wait, because I think he plays tomorrow night, his state championship, if I'm not wrong. And I wouldn't be shocked if he definitely comes to Miami and he announces by Friday, because we would want him in the program ASAP. Now, he hasn't said anything like this. Just a couple of people that I talked to says that he's really thinking about coming to Miami, but he might wait. But I can see Miami trying to push him to sign, early. And I'm going to say this is just my opinion. And if he doesn't sign early, I think Miami will move on.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
To the
that makes sense. Okay. Just to try to get the numbers, right? I mean, depending on what the NCAA does, right?
Correct.
Okay. That makes sense. And then, so kind of just like looking at this overall class, there's the big names, James Williams and the Leonard Taylors, who the Kane fans probably like don't know about, or like that isn't as big of a name. Would you say are you like most excited for?
Well, I think one of my guys that I follow a lot and talk to a little bit on the side, Brad Tahaya, stole my thunder because he interviewed him today.
I saw that.
Elijah Arroyo, the tight end, is it's gonna be hard keeping him off the field, even if Brevin Jordan decides to come back. I mean, this guy, he's everything that we are here at Miami when it comes to tight end U. Like, this guy fits. He's got good size. He runs routes like a wide receiver. I mean, can you imagine him in Feely's weight program? And he's coming early. He's gonna be enrolling early, and he's the truth. Like, that dude is the truth. That's one that I think. But a dark horse that I'll put out there that is Chase Smith.
Oh, you took mine.
Well, what's crazy about that guy, and I'm sure you're gonna probably have a little more insight as well, since I stole your thunder as well. Is that I think his frame has so much room to put on more muscle and become just an absolute freak. Like, that dude just screams takeover. He could. It's just he has very active hands, great lateral movement. His IQ's through the roof. His instinct is good. Size is amazing. I just love him. I can't believe he doesn't get more buzz, but I'm glad he didn't, so no one would try to steal him.
Yeah, I was watching his highlights yesterday, and he was playing, because he plays receiver. He kind of plays both ways, and he had this catch with his it was a one-handed left hand catch over 2 defenders, and it was he got up so high. I was like, oh my god, this guy is so athletic. He's 6'3" too, right? 6'3". Yeah. I think he's only 190. But I mean,
I agree. Everything you just said, I'm actually surprised, because not only his highlights, but if you get to go watch him and play down every down, he's just super, super. He's like a smaller Jalen Phillips. You know how Jalen Phillips is so active on every play?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're different, right? Different position. I think Chase is going to end up playing striker for us, but we'll see.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you too. Where do you see him fitting in?
I see him as a striker as long as that body puts on the muscle that I think it can hold. If not, I mean, that dude could play multiple. I mean, he's versatile. That dude is very versatile.
How would you
Really
grade
get him
him?
there.
Yeah. How would you grade him in coverage?
The thing with him is he is covering high school guys. So that's a big. When you go and you're scouting, right? I think that is one of the most difficult things to assess from the bigger guys. Like right now, James Williams, they're like, wow, he moves like a deer. He's 6'5". That's great. And I have faith in him because I have seen him play. He looks the part. But let's see when Brevin Jordan lines up in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That it's a different monster. So do I think he has the physical ability to cover? Yes. Technique, all that stuff, how he develops, time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely. So we kind of mentioned the targets that Miami has like left on their board. Is there any I know that Terrence Lewis announced his two. I think it was Maryland and who was the other team? Was it Maryland?
I think.
No, it wasn't Nebraska. It was Maryland.
It was Tennessee and Maryland, but
Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee and Maryland.
Yeah.
And then Mason Smith, we're in his top 4 or whatever, but I mean, a lot of people are saying that's a super long shot. Is there anyone that's kind of like a dark horse that you can kind of see coming in late, or do you think that this class is mainly set in stone?
Yeah, somebody that's not on the radar.
Yeah.
It's not on the radar.
Yeah. Like Canes fans are gonna be like, oh shit.
I would say. But again, it's just funny. Everybody started putting a lot of stuff out there today that I already have been hearing for a week, so I don't know how surprising it'll be. But that guy, Tavares Dawson.
Oh yeah.
From Auburn, he's a 4-star athlete, but he can play corner for sure. He just pushed back his announcement. Probably also because they fired their coach, but
right.
Miami has reached out to him, and that guy would be a steal. I was really big on Demarius McGee, but it looks like he's really leaning to LSU, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I heard today. That's the last I heard today. We were in his radar, I would say maybe 72 hours ago.
Okay.
I don't know how that UNC loss affected that.
Yeah.
But the two guys that I really talked to that are around his area really told me that he's leaning LSU. So, a surprise to me would be, to be honest, I'll give you guys my thoughts from being down here. I think if we flip Jaden Burrows, watch out for Hood flipping as well.
Oh wow.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's the linebacker, right? That's committed to Michigan right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow. That would
be nice.
Yeah.
Well, remember over there, they're not looking so hot right now at Michigan, and
mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying they're a package deal, but they go to the same high school. They're committed to the same school with the same problems. Miami could use another linebacker in this class. Hood has checked all the boxes. Miami did contact Hood a while back. It's just weird, that all of a sudden we're only talking about Jaden Burrows, but you know how it is every year. There's that one guy that pops out of nowhere that no one saw.
Right.
Last year was Dunson. I could tell you I was all over recruiting last year. I didn't hear one thing about Dunson. and then all of a sudden he just comes to Miami,
The rump special.
I would say, this is just me fishing from information from the past and now. I wouldn't be surprised if Hood would go, well, he's flipping. They lost. They're probably going to lose Jennings to Maryland as well. The guy that flipped out of, I think he flipped from FSU to Michigan, now from Michigan to Maryland. He was the outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're losing a lot of people over there at Michigan right now. They're trying to hold on to him. So, it wouldn't freak me out or surprise me, to be honest.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Patrick Payton?
I think the staff is crazy, and you can quote me on that.
Okay.
I don't understand why they did not. They could have had him, man. They just the spots, they could have had him. I'm telling you, they could have had him, but they didn't see him as a priority, So Staff's crazy. I'll just say it.
So, kind of getting into that a little bit, do you think that because obviously we're not really on Terrence Lewis's radar, do you think that that's kind of a mutual thing? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
More on Miami side than his side.
Okay.
I mean, anybody who's from down here that has seen that guy play, you take a shot on that guy. Period. Like, this is a once every 5 years linebacker that comes around here. Like, he's that good. When you have Alabama, everyone was on him until a few of the off the field issues, and they backed off him, and then everybody started coming back on him. Like, that tells you,
right?
And then at the end they kind of went in different directions, but that guy's amazing on the field. Like, he's just gonna if he keeps his nose clean and does a good job of being a good person, good student, he will end up going to the NFL. He's unbelievable. Like, unbelievable.
Nice.
Wow. So, kind of to sum everything up, I think a lot of by the end of tomorrow, we'll kind of know where Miami stands for the most part. I mean, besides if we get someone else in February. How would you like to see this class, like what's your dream scenario for it like finalizing?
For tomorrow, my dream?
Yeah.
Mason Smith. I mean, you asked me for my dream, right?
Yeah, so that's true.
My dream would be Mason Smith, but realistically, I would like to definitely flip Jaden. Make sure I want Garcia to sign, and I would like Austin Barber to sign before Friday because I want him in our class, not just because of how big he is. He's just mean. He's a nasty, nasty offensive. We haven't had a guy with that kind of attitude. I mean, he's just, even his interviews, when you watch his interviews, he's upset when he doesn't get pancakes. Like, the dude is,
yeah.
I
saw that one over the weekend.
Yeah, I would love to have him in our class, but, we'll see. That would be my dream scenario because we already have the guy I wanted, which was Leonard Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to change our program. I mean, he's just next level.
Yeah, I think if we can get Garcia between Garcia, Taylor, Williams, and Romello, and man, I mean,
yeah.
And then the freshmen we have now for the 2020 guys.
Yep.
The attitude. I mean, you can see the attitude with the 2020 guys, the 2021 guys. It's different, especially when the way Coach was talking about not everybody's bought, or Mike Harley was like not everybody's bought in. I mean, what the hell is that at the last game of the season? But anyways, hopefully those are like some of the seniors and everything that aren't going to come back. But I see big things with this recruiting class. I mean,
well, they say, I don't know if you guys ever saw the blue chip ratio. They say that, to win a championship. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm going to say right now.
Yes, sir.
Over the 50% ratio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes,
we're
sir.
at 49. Currently, right now, if the class was going to close, this class would be at 60. So right now, that's without Garcia. Right now we'd be at like 60 point something. So I agree with you. We're stacking people, and a name we haven't mentioned, and I'm a little upset and disappointed with myself that I haven't brought him up because a guy that I respect that's a recruiter down here and writes, Larry Boonstein. I'm sure you guys have heard of him.
Oh yeah. Oh, Blue,
absolutely.
I love him.
He talks about Cameron Kitchens like the next, the next unbelievable safety that's going to come to Miami. Like, he actually likes Cameron Kitchens better than James Williams, and that's another guy that I should have said that a lot of people aren't giving a lot of buzz about because he plays a similar position as James Williams, and James Williams is the freak of nature, so he gets all the pub.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch Cameron Kitchens play, he's next level too. But yeah, going back to what you said, I agree with you. With what you were saying, I agree. At the end of the day, I just hope there's no surprises that we haven't at least had an idea we're coming tomorrow.
Right.
Because it is recruiting. You know how that is, man.
And it's Miami recruiting at that. I mean, we've been hat flipped at the table so many times. It's been.
That's right. I agree with you though. I see that it's different type of personnel that's coming in now though. You're getting
Right.
you're getting the dogs. You're getting the dogs now. You're not just getting the big star or the camp guy that was really good at camp. I mean, you go watch these guys play in their regular games, and they're just ferocious. I mean, we're
Right,
getting.
because if I'm not mistaken, once we sign all these guys, especially Taylor and all them, I mean, we beat out major programs for these guys.
The biggest.
And it's I mean, when was the last time that we had? I mean, going into a class that you had this much confidence that all your big major guys are going to sign.
No, you're right. You're right. But Manny gets a lot of heat. But one thing he did that was super, super smart is he put several coaches in South Florida and prioritized it. South Florida is such a hotbed. You can't do what the previous head coaches were doing, at least recent previous coaches, and just put one coach down here because you can't compete. These guys down here want to feel the love because while you're not giving it to them, Alabama is, Georgia is, LSU is, Auburn is,
Saban's
Clemson,
flying in helicopters.
Right. So, that was one thing that Manny got heat for doing. The people that didn't understand recruiting, I was like, no, dude, this is smart. Trust me, it's gonna pay off for him later, and it is. You start seeing it now. Look at the players he's landed. 6 and 7 last year.
Right.
And he's got Leonard Taylor, who everyone and their mom wanted. James Williams, who everyone and their mom. I mean, like.
Yep. Uh-oh.
We lost him.
Well, hopefully he'll get back on here. But let's see.
I'll give you guys I think that Miami is really trying behind the scenes trying to push the NCAA like other schools are because they're really looking to make some moves in the portal. I'm telling you guys, they're already talking to a few people that are in the portal, but they can't say anything because they don't know. They have no idea how many spots they're gonna have.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Manny, he is the portal king.
Yeah, absolutely.
So far, absolutely, he hasn't failed yet. So I'm not too worried about it because, like you said, that USC linebacker. I'm not even going to pretend I'm going to say his name.
Good luck.
Yeah, right. But we all know exactly who he's talking about. But I'm just ready to get tomorrow signed up, get the fan base back to some kind of hope.
Get excited about something.
I mean,
after Saturday.
I don't even know what to say, man. I was there and I was in complete shock. I just couldn't. I didn't recognize that team. I don't know what team that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just I'm sure you've heard of Roman Kane and his state of the what is it? Student of the game. That's it. Student of the game, and he had the breakdown of the. I mean, now we've said it on this podcast before that people don't really understand how much we miss Shaq and Pickney.
Right.
If Saturday wasn't an indication of how bad we missed him, because he broke it down, because the way that apparently they game planned would have worked if we would have had Shaq and Pickney, somebody who can tackle. You know what I mean? Because I mean that is just horrific. But anyways,
it was it was hurting. I watched it live. It was hurting.
I feel for you, bro. I feel for you. But anyways, hey, where can people find you?
Easy. On Twitter, I'm at Upkane, and then everywhere else, which is Instagram and Facebook, Miami Flow, and my YouTube channel is the Miami Flow Show. And all we do, man, is talk Miami football. It's pretty simple, and I enjoy talking Miami with everybody. I love the Canes, whether we lose or win.
Yeah, love it, man. Hey, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. We really appreciate it.
Mine. You guys are doing a great job, man. Keep going. Keep grinding.
Thank you.
Same to you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. And by the way, the only reason why I said anything about Patrick Payton because I watched your show.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
I would have lost my mind when the staff freaking. I don't want to talk about it. Bye.
Oh, that's all right. No, I got. Yeah, but just tell them to go on your channel and watch it. I guess that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, that was good, man. That was fun having him on.
Yeah, that was awesome. Good times, man.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a break real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. What is going on, guys? We are back from break, and we are now joined by Mr. Warden himself.
The one and only.
Yeah, the one and only. How are you doing tonight, man?
Great, guys. How are you?
I am
Wonderful.
doing pretty well, all things considered. So, Warden, do you want to kind of recap last week? I know we had a 3-game parlay, and then there was some single picks. Do you want to kind of recap what happened in those games?
Yeah, I do. I wish I had a time machine because I love to pick first week Warden's brain there more than third and second week. But as we all know, it's called gambling and not winning, because if it was called winning, everybody would be doing it. So
Right.
So last week we went ahead and tried to go big boy football with the NFL. We did go 2 for 3, and unfortunately the first leg of the parlay was broken Thursday night with the Patriots getting dismantled by the Rams. I didn't see that one coming, so definitely the Rams are starting to trend up. Colts beat the Raiders pretty handily, so we got the -2.5 there, so they covered that easily. And then, the Bills showed out and took it to the Steelers Sunday night. It was a great game, probably one of the best games of the weekend.
Right.
Other than the Monday night game, which sadly didn't end well for me. But the Bills did cover the -2.5, so we're 2 out of 3, which, as we know, in a parlay, is not good enough. On the year, we are 7-2 though with those picks, so we're trending upwards of 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3. And then we did single game picks. We're just gonna say there were 0 for 2, and we had a cancellation because we don't want to talk the Miami game or the Florida State game. Right,
Yeah,
guys?
we already did that.
No, we're good.
Okay, so that's good. So that's what we did last week. Overall, if we're still betting the same money that I had, we're still up a little bit. So we're not in the red just yet. We're getting back to even, but as long as you're even or above, you're doing pretty good in the gambling game. So
Always good.
So, Warden, what do you got for us this week, man?
All right, so we're going to switch things up a little bit. I think this will go a little bit better. We're going to do Warden's 6-shooter. I'm going to give you 6 games. Yeah,
nice.
A little 6-shooter. I'll give you 6 games, kind of go over each game and their line and their odds, and then I'll tell you what my lock of the week is and then what games I would parlay together.
Sounds good.
Love it.
Awesome. So first game, we'll start off right off the bat with Iowa State OU. Iowa State already beat OU earlier this year. So Iowa State is a couple point underdog. And I like Iowa State in this game. I think Matt Campbell is a heck of a coach, as I've said before. I know OU's trending up. I believe they have a positive. I think they might be like 5-1 against the spread since earlier in the season. So they've been trending up since that loss. But I really do like Iowa State in this game. As you can see, Iowa State in the polls earlier tonight jumped all the way up to the point where there's a lot of people thinking if they win this game, they could leapfrog some people into the playoffs, even with 2 losses. So yeah, I think they have a lot to work for. And I really do. I like that a lot. So I think Iowa State money line this week, straight up. Okay. Don't take the points. Get the +172 and walk home a winner on that one. And then we got Cincy Tulsa. I think Cincinnati is one of the most underrated teams of this year so far. I think they have a great head coach. I think it's all around good team. Cincinnati's given up 13.5. I would definitely lay the points there. I like them a lot there. I think they win.
Their running back coach sucks, though.
I've heard that. Yes, I've heard their running back coach does suck. I would definitely lay the 13.5 points against Tulsa. I like them a lot. And then the other game, a lot of this has to do with championship football this weekend, but USC and Oregon. As we know, Oregon is a late replacement into that game. Mm-hmm. USC is the cream of the crop in the Pac-12, even though that cream is not very good. -3.5 against an opponent that doesn't expect to be there. Yeah, you could think, okay, maybe Oregon's going to play up. They want that Pac-12 championship, but do they really have anything to play for? In my opinion, no. It sounds like there's some hints that Mario Cristobal doesn't even want to stay at Oregon. There's some smoke going here and there to different schools. So I would give USC in this game. I'd give up 3.5 and feel pretty good about that. I think USC definitely has a lot to play for. They want that undefeated season in that Pac-12 championship.
Okay.
So I like USC there. And then my lock of the week is the Ohio State University against Northwestern. Northwestern's a heck of a team. The Fighting Reese Davises, as they're called on SportsCenter, in game day.
Right, I remember.
They're a heck of a team, man. Pat Fitzgerald has to be one of the best coaches in this country, and it's not even close. He just knows how to get players to play, especially with the academic restrictions there at Northwestern. You've got to be basically a 4.0 student to play and a heck of an athlete. So yeah, but again, no bias here, but Ohio State is a top 5 team in the country easily. Justin Fields is going to be a top 5 overall pick. They are missing some pieces. Their defensive backfield's young. When you lose multiple draft picks the year before, it's going to be hard. They're 20.5 point favorites. I would lay the 20.5 points. Ohio State's going to blow Northwestern out of the water. They want that playoff spot. They're mad that Michigan ducked them. So that's my lock of the week there.
That's good. All right.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the lock. That's the one I would be most comfortable betting.
I think Ohio State's going to put the woodshed on them.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to say it because I don't mind Northwestern as a team. As everybody knows, I'm an Ohio State fan, but Northwestern is one of those teams that you kind of just root for in general because they're the underdogs. The next game, Bama versus the shoe throwing university down there in Florida. 17.5 points. Bama's laying 17.5 points, and I think two shoes as well. So give up the 17.5 points and 2 shoes. Easily against Florida. I think Florida is a good team. I don't believe Dan Mullen is very head savvy. I think Saban gets in his head easily. I think they win by 21 plus. I think Bama is one of the better Bama teams that we've seen in the last 10 years.
Man, that Bama offense. Have we ever seen a Bama offense that powerful?
No. And Devonta Smith is, I don't even know. A Heisman frontrunner in my opinion. Without him, Mac Jones is probably a decent quarterback. With him, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the nation. If I had a vote, it'd be him, and it'd be hands down Devonta Smith. He's changed the game. So definitely Bama minus 17.5. And then the final game of the 6 shooter here is Clemson versus Notre Dame. Obviously, big ACC implications. Notre Dame obviously won the first fight without Trevor Lawrence being there. Clemson's given up 10.5, and I think this is an easy lay, 10.5 points. I think Dabo and Trevor Lawrence want to make a statement. Dabo seems like a revengeful guy to me, so if you beat him and he gets a second chance at you, he's not going to take he's not going to take that lightly, basically. And I think Trevor Lawrence wants to show that him not being there was a big difference. I think this is –
and those defensive linemen that were missing too should be back.
Sure. Yeah. And that was a key because, Trevor Lawrence doesn't play defense, obviously, so, Notre Dame was able to march up and down the field pretty easily. But they kept it close with that freshman quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Trevor Lawrence, he was good, but Trevor Lawrence is just, we've already talked about the cream of the crop, right? The best quarterback in the nation. I honestly think this is a 24-point win by Clemson. And I will tell you this, this is my prediction too. There's no betting odds on this, but if Clemson beats Notre Dame by 20 plus, Notre Dame's going to be the 5th ranked team when the playoffs come out.
Oh, wow.
Who you think going to slide in, Ohio State?
So I think my prediction, if that happens, it's Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, and I think Iowa State, if they win, would leapfrog Texas A&M.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yep. So those are my 6 picks of the 6 shooter. Now, if I was to parlay them, and I'm going to this weekend, I'm going to make a nice little trip over to Indiana to bet safely and responsibly, like I always say.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go with Ohio State minus 20.5, Bama minus 17.5, Clemson minus 10.5 for a 6.2 odds, and I'm going to lay 50 on it this week because that's how confident I'm in this parlay, and I hope it hits. So I don't have to come on next week and cry about it. And $50 will win me about 311. So I think that's what we're looking at.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
That's a good rate of return, man.
Yeah.
That is a good rate of return. And we got some news, too. We started a Discord channel. Canes Call In. You can find it. We have a channel on there called Warden's Winners. He's going to, starting next week, have a special pick in there for you guys to come in and see, and it is free. All you got to do is join us on Discord, Canes Call In, join the Warden's Winners channel, and he'll have his picks in there.
Yep, and I love to talk gambling, betting, sports, anything. As these guys will tell you, I'm a friendly Ohio State fan, so I've been rooting for the Canes all season. I promise. But But yeah, free pick, and the best thing about it is not only am I giving you the free pick, and sometimes it may be a bonus pick compared to what I'm giving you, but even the picks we talk about on the podcast are free to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen,
True.
right?
That's true.
Just download the podcast, listen. You not only get the extra benefit of joining the Discord to get that extra pick, you can listen to you guys talk great Canes football, talk some Miami sports, and then get my 6-shooter, and you're getting basically 7 picks for free. And I hope I win you a lot of money.
Lots of money. It's just so easy, and it's all free.
Yep.
Other people are charging you for this.
Sure. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, if I can't with 100% confidence, tell you this is my opinion and my opinion only on what I look at. I'm not trying to give you any crazy stats, but this is what I like. And if you follow it and win some money, great. If not, well, you bet the money, not me, right?
That's why it's called betting, right?
Hey, that's why it's called betting. But I would love to, interact with everybody, and I hope we could even maybe, start a big discussion, and I might learn some things from other people too. So it's just a live and learn kind of concept, and I hope we see people in the Discord chat very soon.
Hope so too. Yeah, because always learning makes everybody better.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, hey Warden, we really appreciate you coming on again, man.
Hey, no problem at all, and I'm hoping for your guys' sake that Jake Garcia to the U is a real thing.
Oh,
Hey, we'll find out soon, right?
We will,
Yeah.
yes.
Tomorrow evening. All right, brother. You have a good night, and we'll catch you later.
All right, sounds good. It's all about the U, boys.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. All right, buddy. Later.
So I just want to thank Warden for coming on, showing us how to gamble again. I feel like I'm turning into a little bit of a gambling fiend, if you know what I mean.
Yep, me too. And I'm glad he loves it. He's mixing it up, so hopefully everybody can make some money. And I'm excited. I mean, we started that new Discord channel, so hopefully we'll get a lot of gambling talk on there, and other people may have other suggestions. Other people might, have other different opinions. Hopefully everybody can come together and everybody make some money.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm excited too. You want to know why?
Why's that? Because
we're going to do some pick'ems right now. And
okay.
I'm really interested in you seeing the results of these. So, let's kind of recap.
So am I not in the lead anymore? Is that what you're trying to say?
We'll see. So, first game of last week was men's hockey, Bemidji State versus Michigan State. Bemidji won 6-3. I got a point for that.
You did.
Second one, Quadizam Trophy. We got cricket, Southern Punjab versus Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. It's actually in progress right now. I think it ends tomorrow. I don't know how this shit works. It says it's like 3 days long or something.
Oh my god. Really?
I have no idea. But Khyber's up by 342 runs. I have no idea if that's a lot. That's not a lot. There's different measurements that you can win by too. There's like runs and like cricket things or something. Like I don't know how the fuck this works, but
so basically you just want to call this one a draw?
No.
Or you want to say you win?
I'm in the lead. No,
Okay,
we're going to see how that works. We're going to come back to that one.
All right.
English Premier League. Everton pulled up the upset and beat Chelsea 1-0.
Damn, so I'm going over maybe?
Also, and I just want to say too, I have a friend that's an Everton fan and a friend that's a Chelsea fan. I've talked to the one that was the Everton fan was texting me throughout the game, and I think it was in the morning or something. I just hadn't looked at my phone, and I had like 30 messages from him. He's like, "It happened," because I told him about everything.
Fun.
And
that's
then I talked to my other friend that's a Chelsea fan, and he just was like, "Don't talk to me about it."
Like all the Canes fans were on Sunday night or Saturday night.
Exactly. And then, so last game, I got the point on that one. Last game was a basketball game, Kansas City versus Toledo. Kansas City won by 15. So, I got 3 points. It might be 4, depending on what happens. And I'm up 9-7, but it could be 10-7 because you were up 7-6. So,
I went over.
Yeah.
I got to go talk to Warden.
I gotta break out the broom, man. It's a sweep coming.
It was a sweep. Damn.
But it's okay. Hey, you can try to make it up this week.
Oh, we're gonna make it up.
Because guess what?
What we got?
We got men's college hockey. Number 11 Quinnipiac versus Bowling Green, the number 12 team in the country. Who are you taking? Saturday. It's a Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Winnipeg, is it?
Don't ask me. I don't know where it is.
All right, then I'm gonna go with Bowling Green because
Okay,
I know where that is.
I'm gonna go with Quinnipiac. All right, man. So next up, we got men's college basketball. We got Purdue Fort Wayne versus IUPUI. Do you know what IUPUI stands for? That acronym?
It's got to do with Indiana something. I don't know what.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. Try to say that
So we
5
got
times as
Purdue
fast.
University versus Purdue University. One's from Indianapolis and one's in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, they're all fake. They're all knockoff Purdue.
That's funny.
Both of them are 1-0. Who are you taking?
I want to go with IUPUI.
Fuck, that was my pick. I'm taking them too.
That's fine.
So
All right,
next up, women's college basketball. We got UIC versus Detroit Mercy. UIC's 1-4 and Detroit Mercy is 0-6.
Lord have mercy.
You going Mercy?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mercy.
Okay.
They can't go 0-7, man.
Okay, I'm going with UIC just to build up my lead. Next up, we got men's cricket, the Big Bash League. This is Australian cricket. We got the Perth Scorchers versus the Melbourne Stars. Who are you taking?
Oh, we're gonna go with the Scorchers, baby. They're gonna be burning some asses.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Stars.
Okay.
I got a good feeling. I know some people that live in Melbourne, so I'm gonna go with Melbourne.
All right.
Yeah. The last matchup, we got Scottish Champions League Soccer. We got Dundee versus Dunfermline Athletic. Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Who are you taking? Dundee or Dunfermline Athletic?
Let's see. I'm gonna go
Don't try
with.
to get all analytical or something. Come on.
Let's go with. Let's make it easy. Dundee.
Okay. Going with Dundee. I'm going with Dunfermline Athletic.
Okay.
All right, man.
So you're gonna go an 0 for this week. Got it.
Yeah, I doubt that. Loser says what?
What? I heard you. Loser says what? I got you.
Oh man. Hey, but anyways, I mean, I think we're moving forward from the UNC game. We don't have to talk about it anymore. We got recruiting to look forward to tomorrow. I'm really excited.
I am too. I'm very excited.
I think we're gonna get some good news. You know, I know the class that everything's kind of like settled for now. You know, especially after talking to Caned Up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, hopefully we can get Jake Garcia, maybe get McBurrows in here. And you never know, maybe Barber, and then whatever happens in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't. I mean, I know we're not going to know the whole result until February, but if we can get a good majority of these guys, and if we get Jake in there, I think once we get Jake, February will be even bigger. To be honest, if they have room, like Candy Up was saying, hopefully they have more spots to add some more surprises. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, man, you got any plans for this weekend, or what's going on?
What is this weekend? No, not really. I don't really have anything planned this weekend. It's kind of chilly out here in Arizona right now.
Guess what I'm doing?
What are you doing? We're not putting up lights.
Because I have COVID.
Oh, yeah, you're not leaving that sucker, are you?
Yeah. So
what we're going to do is when you're done with COVID, we'll talk about how it was being isolated. So hopefully we can know what the team went through. You can give us an insight.
Hey, man. Hey, this is great. I love it. No, it's pretty bad.
I bet. But I'm just glad you don't have any, you and your girlfriend doesn't have any major symptoms.
And she tested negative, so she's good. But
that's awesome then.
That was the thing I was most worried about, is like if I gave it to her and her family and stuff. So and then obviously my parents too, but
right. Yeah. Hopefully this too shall pass.
Exactly. Hey man, so I hope you have a good weekend.
You too.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm excited for every Tuesday, man. I love talking Canes with you and just talking sports in general. It's awesome.
I'm having a blast doing this. I mean,
that's what it's about.
Yep. As long as we have fun, it's all that matters.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in and everything.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, and don't forget, follow us on all your major platforms, download us, and then join us on Discord. Canes Call In. You got to get to the Warden's Winners channel so you guys win that money.
Oh yeah,
brother. You have a great night. Go Canes.
You too. Go Canes.
Yeah.